Hello everyone. In this video, I will be explaining you about how to set up Swagger on ASP.NET Core API application. In big projects, there will be two teams like backend team and front-end team. The backend team is responsible for creating the services, and whereas front-end team is responsible for accessing or consuming the services and show the data on the UI and also to post the data from the client side to server side. So the client side team or the front end team, they no need to know about the complete logic that is implemented for creating the services. They should know that what is the request they need to pass and what is the response they will be getting. For that purpose, the backend team should be able to provide the mechanism that will expose their services details like specifications without providing the application logic. So using Swagger, that can be possible. Let us see how to set up the Swagger on ASP.NET Core API application. So I have Visual Studio 2019 open. Click on Create New Project. Select ASP.NET Core Web Application. Click on Next and I give name Swagger Core API. Create. So select API, click on Create. So project created, and you can see here controllers, weather forecast controller, and it is having one get method. I will be adding the post method later. So now right click on the project, manage NuGet packages, go to browse, and here search for SWAS. You'll get SWAS Bakil ASP Net Core. Select this one and don't select this one and select Swagsbuckle ASP Net Core and click on install. So it is installed. Press OK. I accept. So it is installed successfully. Close this. Go to dependencies, packages. You can see Swashbuckle ASP Net Core 5.6.3 is the version. So in order to set up the Swagger, go to startup.cs. Here, go to the method called configure services, and here you type services dot add swagger gen. Yes, take the arrow function. Now here s dot swagger doc, and first parameter it will take the two parameters v1 string, and the next one is new open API info, and this will take these details like contact description, extension license, terms of service, title and version, and we'll mention the title like Swagger with core, comma, and we can mention version equal to string like v1. So one more important configuration that we need to do is we need to go to the configure method, and here we need to add app dot use swagger, and after that we need to use another method called app dot use swagger UI, and again it will take the parameter like let's say as, and here we need to mention the swagger endpoint s dot swagger endpoint. So it will take two parameters. One is the swagger JSON path like swagger slash v1 slash swagger dot JSON, and comma you can give any name like core API. So that's it. So mainly we added two configurations like swagger dot add swagger gen, and where we define the swagger duck with the v1 and the title and some version details. And after that, here we added the endpoint swagger endpoint. So we need to mention use swagger and use swagger UI. So hardly one, two, three lines of code only. So we don't have much code also. And now go to application and build it. So we can see build is successful and go and run it. It's launched the application with localhost and port number and weather forecast and the controller name. Just to remove that controller name and just type Swagger and press enter. Now you can see that Swagger UI has been loaded. You can see localhost 4478, after that Swagger and index.html. And here we can see that methods that our weather forecast control is exposing, like get method. So it is having only one method, that is get method. Here you can see. So it is having only one method, that is get method, that we can see here, this one. And it is returning the IEnroll of weather forecast. So if you go and see here, it is not accepting any input parameters, and you can see get forecast. Get is the method and forecast, weather forecast is the control name. And when you open it, you can see parameters, no parameters, because we are not passing any parameters. And you can see that description, and you can see the schema, weather forecast schema also it will display, like what is the type of the schema of the weather forecast, like it is having the properties called date, temperature f, temperature centigrades and temperature Fahrenheit, and summary, and it is given even the data type also. And if you want to try it, you can click on try it out, and when you click on execute, it will go and hit this, and it will give you the response. So you can see here, so it will show you the request URL also that you can use to consume the service. And you can see the response and response body, it is the response, so it has given the array of JSON. You can see that even you have option to download. So when you click on download, you can see that JSON has been downloaded. So when any consumer or the development team wants to know the specification of your service, you can give this Swagger link, and they can come and see that what are the methods are available, and what is the request, and what is the response that they are getting, and what is the input parameters, like what is the signature of the method. Everything they come to know, and they know the data types of the every field, so that it is helpful for them to pass the request object, or to receive, so or to cast the response for that you so or to cast the response they get, or to cast the response they received from the service. So for everything it is very useful. And now let us run one post method here and see. So I just quickly write some one post method. So let's say http post public string save weather data, weather forecast, and here I'm going to return. So you can write the logic that you want to write here, like logic to save the data, and here I'm just returning data saved successfully. Stop this and go and execute again. So go to the URL, and instead of weather forecast, type the Swagger. And when you type the Swagger, now you can see that get and post method that we recently added also, and get and post method that we just added also showing up here. And when you click on the post method, because get we already seen, you can see that no parameters, and request body. So request body, it is expecting, this is the example value they have given. So we can see that schema also. So this is the request body the service is expecting, and this is the example data, and application dot slash JSON is the response. So you can select anything and you can see the response here. And after that, now the return value, you can see that response here, and here the request body and response. You can see here whenever it is 200 it means it is success, and it is saying that response value is string value. Now you can execute it, try out, try, and this is the sample data. You can give anything, you can forward, you can consume, and you can give summary sample. And when you go and click on execute, and this will give you the response that data saved successfully. This is how you can expose the services specifications, and the end consumers or the development team, they can go through the Swagger and they will get the complete idea of the request and response of the services. Thank you for watching. Hope this is helpful. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.